Okay, I'm gonna take like a little bit of a side note here, and I'm gonna read it. Oh, if I get better at this technology, like too bad, like maybe TikTok's going away. I don't know, but I want to like put it in the background. But I'm just like talking into the mic. So if you guys want me to improve and like put the background of, like what I'm reading, then I'm gonna have to learn to do that. But until then, I'm just gonna read it to you. So this is Surah Al-Hadid 57:20. So I'm guessing Surah 57, Ayah 20. Check this out. This is fascinating because like it fits into it fits into this idea that this place is like an illusion. It's a game. It's a place where you have your subjective senses, and your subjective senses are leading you in a certain way. Like with your eyes, like all you do is lust, and with your ears, all you do is want to hear like music that gets you like invigorated. You know, and like all you wanted, like with your tongue, all you want to do is like eat junk food. And like they all can be like used in like a beautiful way, or it can be used to poison yourself. Like as a man, and like I don't know, like I don't want to really, maybe I should avoid having these conversations, but like as a man, like when you remember when you were a kid, when you were like 13, 14, you like see a girl and like you like admire her beauty, and then like if you get older and like you hook up with like a bunch of chicks, like you start to get a little bit sick. I hope the volume didn't get messed. Yeah, and then you get sick. Like if you see people who've like maybe they've had too many like hookups with people, like they get to like get sick about women, where they look at them like objects. It's like, how did that happen? It's because kind of like you had this thing, your eyes that were made to be attracted to a thing, but like that thing got sick, so then you became sick. Or like aside from that, it's like take away like men and women cross relationships, but if you look at like food, you know, like you used to, imagine like I remember when I was a kid, my mom used to make me ravioli, and like the ravioli was like, oh, it was beautiful. But then imagine like you eat so much that you don't even like it anymore. Or like the first time you have like McDonald's, you ever like have like a McDonald's. When I was like, you know, you have like one of those like little burgers from McDonald's, and then if you have it all the time, like the flavor of it goes away. Because like and my point is that like I guess like maybe that's not the best example, but like my point is that you can like, McDonald's is a great example, right? Because what it is like it's artificial good food, so they know it's a super stimuli. It's actually a great example. Thank you so much. It's a super stimuli. So like whether it's like explicit content on the internet, or whether it's like or explicit content on the internet, or like the different versions of that, or like if it's like junk food, or like music, or like all those things. Like notice how like there's super stimuli that like attacks the mind, and the way you know it's a super stimuli is because like you crave for that thing, even though you know that thing isn't good for you. Because like a relationship between like a man and a woman could be like really healthy. Like it can be healthy unless it gets corrupted, and then it's sick in its own nature, and then you become sick in its own nature. And like your relationship with food can be healthy unless it becomes sick in its nature, and then you become sick in your nature. And you can see this with like people who like suffer from obesity, or suffer from some type of sex addiction, or like pornography addiction, or like whatever. Basically what happens is there's super stimuli that takes advantage. It takes advantage of your subjective experiences and like leads them astray. And isn't that what's leading you astray? Side note, the way to break that chain, because it is a chain, it's like a chain of the nuffs. You see, like we think that we're free, but it's not free. Like the American idea of freedom is like freedom from government, the right to free speech, the right to bear arms, which is like free from tyranny. And they've bastardized that word to make it sound like freedom of the nuffs, like freedom, I can like do whatever I want whenever I want, and this is like what freedom is. But it's not freedom, because you just become a slave to yourself. You become a slave to your own desires, which is not like an originally Islamic perspective, right? Like the Christians have like the 7 deadly sins, the Buddhists have like the pain and pleasure wheel. So with the Buddhists, like here, maybe I'll flip the camera, I'll show you the pain and pleasure wheel. Okay, can I flip this over somehow? I am the worst with technology, but like check this out. Okay, look. So this is the pain and pleasure wheel. Do you see, like if you go here, it's like things are good, like you're on like the earthly way, and then you chase pleasure, and then you're in kind of like a heavenly state, like a state of bliss, and then you're back into like the dunya world, and you're like going back down, and then you're in hell. And it's like basically the idea is, and you can look up to it, like if you chase your pleasures, you just end up in hell. And I think that when something is the truth, it doesn't have to be originally there in like one religion. And I think that like a lot of these religions have hints onto what's good and what's bad. And the way you can see the evidence for this is like all of these, like whether it's Buddhism, Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Hinduism, like whatever, the an evidence of that is like these are all battles of the ideas. They're just battle of the ideas. And the way you know if like a belief system is good or not is like the people that usually don't like the belief system are the ones that are like lying about the belief system, which means that maybe part of them actually likes the belief system, but they don't like that they like the belief system, so they're going to lie about the belief system. Because and this is why I started looking into Islam, because like most people will like trash Islam, but they'll have like no idea what they're talking about. It's like, hold on, but what religion are you insulting then? Are you insulting the religion that you made up in your own head, or are you insulting like the actual religion? In other words, like this whole place, this whole place is a game. It's an illusion. It's a delusion, and we chase our pleasures. We're chasing the nafs, and we're chasing our own dopamine. This is quick paced dopamine. This is the thing that's robbing you. This is the thing that's causing you anxiety. My by the way was that the way to like bring your body back to homeostasis is meditation. And like the Muslims, they have like this way of meditation, which is prayer. And they're supposed to pray 5 times a day. And like I was watching a video about this person that said that I was looking it up. It's like, I watched the video and then I looked it up. It's like this person that said, talking about praying tahajjud. And it's like she wakes up at like 4 a.m. or whatever. And then she prays like all night. And I just know this is something inside the brain. Well, it's multiple portions of the brain. It's called the default mode network, the DMN. Look it up. It's called the default mode network. And what happens is like you can enter the default mode network from like going on a walk, meditating, through prayer, so on and so forth, like all those things. So what happens is the mind wanders and you bring it back. And like if you ever like pray, you'll notice that the mind wanders and then you bring it back. So it's not a bad thing for the mind to wander, by the way. It's a natural phenomenon. And as you get better at it, you're able to focus. So what you're doing is you're bringing awareness back to yourself. So the two things that like the Muslim prayer is doing is like, 1, you're bringing awareness back to your creator every time it moves out. 2, you're using a mantra of gratefulness. And 3, you're allowing your default mode network to work so you can let go of the dunya things, of the shackles that are keeping your nafs held. Because it's not freedom, it's slavery. You're being trapped. And so anyway, so I wanted to read this. I can go on forever and ever, and I don't even get to read what I wanted to read. So this is from Surah Al-Hadid. Know that the life of this world is but an amusement and a diversion and adornment and boasting to one another and competition in increasing wealth and children. Literally what we do. Sorry, I'm not in the camera, but like I don't really need to be in the camera. But I'm not in the camera. Like the example of a rain whose result plant growth pleases the tillers. So the rain has the plants grow and it pleases the tillers. Then it dries and you see it turned yellow. And then it becomes scattered debris. And in the hereafter is severe punishment and forgiveness from God and approval. And what is the worldly life except enjoyment of delusion? Enjoyment of delusion. What a bold claim. Enjoyment of delusion. You know, like I think to myself, like, you know, enjoyment of delusion. When you look at a 10-year-old and they're like enjoying themselves, they're enjoying delusion. Obviously, right? They're playing with their little race tracks or whatever. Like, but they're 10. But if that same person is doing it at 30, they're not playing the right game. So then, again, the question is, like, what is species-specific behavior that's not a delusion? That's my question. Like, is there a series of games, like a game that you play from 0 to 10, or 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, I'm talking about years old, 15 to 25, which I would say would be the progress within the human being, where their exploratory phase, 25 to 35, so on and so forth. What is the series of games? And if you're not aligned with those games, maybe that's why there's like a huge anxiety and depression epidemic, because people are not living the species-specific lives that they were supposed to, and probably because like everything is just live and let live. It really doesn't matter. But what if it does matter? What if you're more than a gorilla? What if you're more than a lion or a chimpanzee? What if you're a human and there's species-specific behavior in which you should be living with that leads to not happiness, but contentment? Not dopamine, but love and serotonin.